Alrighty, hello everybody. I'm going to be showcasing some farming in Voices of the Void. So, I tried looking everywhere for YouTube on any instructions on how this stuff works. Didn't really find anything that in depth, so I decided I'll make my own. Before we actually get to my main field, I'm going to showcase my starting balcony farm that I'd made. So, over here, I've got, where is it? A faucet connected to this river here. I got this hose going all the way to these makeshift steps that I made using the wall builder. And this goes all the way to my balcony here. Into a sprinkler onto my balcony farm pots here. Now, farm pots are cheaper and easier to maintain if you want to make like a small little area just for food to feed yourself. That's fine. But if you want to plant things like big trees or lots and lots of crops for a money-making scheme or whatever, that's where you're going to want to go to field farming. The farm pots are simple. You have a plantable item in your hand and you just click on the pot and it gets planted. So I'm just going to move on to the interesting stuff. I've got multiple faucets here, with multiple hoses going to my field. Now I've cleared it out just for tutorial's sake, but when I get over here, I've got a whole bunch of sprinklers spread out for different fields, different areas where I want to plant crops. Could be spaced out a little better, but what can you do? So, you got two options. Option one, you got yourself a shovel, you dig a hole, you got a little ugly bit of dirt here, but let's say, what do I got on me? I've got red mushrooms. Not exactly something I can eat, but I can plant it, just like that. But I have to get rid of this ugly bit of dirt. The alternative method is not that, is a rake. Now this is an alternative to the shovel that you can buy in the store. Now the rake, it functions just like the shovel. You can dig up things and you can use it to, plant your crops or whatever. The big difference is you don't have no dirt mound you have to throw away somewhere. Rather, you got a nice plowed field and you can dig up items and you can also just plant items here. It's a lot cleaner and great for those who do not want to have to deal with the dirt mounds that come from digging up a lot of holes. So, if you're someone who cares about that, I highly recommend getting the rake. Something else that you can buy from the store is an item called the compost bucket. Now how this works is you'll put organic material into the bucket and it'll slowly fill up. And then with a piece of paper scrap in your hand, you can left click it and you get a bag of fertilizer. All this does is it just speeds up the growth of a single plant that you decide on. So, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to run over. Here we are. I'm going to put it on one of these. And now this specific plant is fertilized. Now, it takes a long time to do it this way, and it's also really annoying. So I'm going to show you a better way to fertilize your plants. This right here is a Beehive box. Now, to get one of these, you have to not only buy the crafting recipe from the store, but you also got to get some scrap and also find a wild beehive. So, how this works is you'll put a beehive into the box, you bring the box over around your crops, and where were they? I keep losing them. Over there, yeah. I'm not sure what the exact radius is, but have a bee box around your crops, and they should get fertilized just passively by the bees. Another upside of bees is if you got a clean jar on you, you can left click it and get honey. Honey is a really good food and it also heals you. Heals you for quite a bit, so you could use this as a replacement for med kits. But once you grab it, run. Fuck. No, 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 get up, get up. They're angry. They're very angry. Okay. Okay, Kel, come on. Run for the pond. They can't get you down here. Yeah, if you're gonna collect honey, do all your hives at once and then just wait out the bees' aggression. Don't do it one at a time because it's gonna be a big waste of time that way. Although that's if you're lucky enough to find multiple hives. I took about 5 days to find mine. And I took another like 6 days to find another for this tutorial. I'm going to show you now what it'll look like in the wild to encounter a bee nest and how to grab it. You are going to need a hook, and preferably a light source, and a lot of patience. Good luck. Oh my god. I spent 5 real-life days looking for one of these. Okay. Live commentary. Give me them beehives. Oh, come on. Stabilize. Come on, Kel. I think if I just collect it, I've got a bunch of fanny packs. I should have room. And look at that. We got ourselves a hive, ladies and gents. Alright, me and the president again. Here's that same beehive that I found. So, what you're going to want to do is you want to craft one of these, a beehive box. You can buy the blueprint in the store, and you just got to get all the scrap and the wood planks. Wood planks you can also buy from the store. I don't think you can craft those yet. And once you got your beehive, you left click on the beehive box, and it is now active. Now this will start fertilizing crops that are around it, and it'll help it grow faster, and it'll also generate honey in the background. And that's the basics, so I suppose I'll go ahead and start planting a few crops. Some things you can plant are going to be ripe pine cones. Now I believe these will grow into trees that you can use for wood. It's not your only option. You can also use, let me see if I got them on me here. Yeah, lemon and orange seeds. So, when you buy lemon and oranges from the store, you can actually put them in your workbench to craft seeds for them. And these will grow into trees that you can plant them, and you'll get a tree that will eventually grow lemons or oranges, whatever you choose. So let me ease in here. Oh yeah, don't worry about the bees being near the sprinklers. They don't care. They'll be fine. And I think these are... Okay, number 6 is my oranges. It would be nice to like have a way to organize my hotbar. Okay, yeah, so these are not in prime spots for my sprinklers. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm gonna relocate this around here. It's gonna look a little ugly now the hose looks like this, but what can you do about it? Alright, so there are multiple things that you can plant. I've already shown off the seeds for the orange and lemon trees. I've shown off ripe pine cones that you can plant. A few other things you can plant are also the red mushrooms I already did. Those are craftable in the seeds. These are white puff shrooms. You can craft these in the seeds too and grow your own white puff shrooms. I've got sugarcane that you can grab from the beach area. You can also plant these as well. Oh yeah, these don't have... I gotta fix the water for here. Come here. Yeah, not the most efficient, but for this tutorial it'll do. Okay, what's next? Ooh, watermelon. Watermelon is nice. You can actually eat watermelon even if you're full, because it's technically a healing item. It doesn't heal that much, but it's easy to grow a lot of them. And because you can spam eat them, you can keep yourself oversaturated, which is usually very useful. Don't sleep on watermelon, it's a really good fruit. Although you do have to use the knife on it to cut it open. I've also got pumpkins. Pretty good food. I'd rather just use them for Wolfgang than to actually eat. Although maybe if we got like a pumpkin pie recipe, I might use it for that. Yellow mushrooms. These, not good to eat, but you can grow them. Sadly, I don't think you can make bait out of mushrooms anymore, so there's no point in that. Brown mushrooms. Ooh, these are good for pizzas. I like to bake my own pizzas in this game. It's fun. Sadly, you cannot grow your own wheat yet, so you do have to buy flour still. But you can grow your tomatoes and you can grow your mushrooms. Can't catch shrimp yet. Can't farm your own meat yet. But mushrooms are one of the few things you can grow for your pizza topping. Next up, flat mushrooms. You can eat them. Can't really use them for any cooking recipes though, which is a shame. Ooh, cucumber. You can cut these into cucumber slices, although I don't think there's much else you can do with them. Potatoes. You can't buy these, rather you'll find them while randomly digging in the ground or through breaking those storage boxes you find everywhere in your base. Now, if you're going to plant these, I recommend you cut them up first, because you're always going to get the same result no matter what size of potato you plant. I do quarters because that's the most efficient, and it's really good for an early game food source, especially if you take the time to prepare your oven. You can get a whole bunch of baked potatoes. And finally, the Zaza. You can find these in the abandoned shack. It is literally just Zaza. You can roll it with like paper scrap, I think, and you can make blunts, which when used will deplete some health but also give you some sleep. Acts kind of like the cigarettes and the cigars, except noticeably weaker, both in the health drain but also in the effect of sleep gained. It's a funny item. I don't mind growing it. Maybe I could sell it to Dr. Bao, who knows. But yeah, that is the basics of farming and also how to get your beehive boxes set up. It's going to take some time to grow, so probably at the end of the video I'll show the results of everything we planted, including our pine trees. There is one more trick I want to show you for those of you who don't really want to do this sort of thing outside. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to show this. I'm sure most of you know this, but, you know, I gotta cover everything here. Just put things on your workbench, or if you own a cutting board, you can put these on your cutting board too. And you can craft these into seed packs, and that's how you're able to plant these crops into the ground. Now, there's some exceptions, like sugarcane has to be planted by itself. There is no seed form. Potatoes, you just have to plant a potato. It works with like whole potatoes, half potatoes, and quarter potatoes. It doesn't matter, but the yield is always the same. So I would recommend just do quarter potatoes. There's also, yeah, the ripe pine cones. Those also don't have seeds. Those are the seeds. Everything else you can craft into seeds by just putting it onto your workbench. Watermelons, you need to cut them first to get the seeds. Same with pumpkins. Cucumbers need to be whole. The fruits need to be whole, so like if you cut your lemon in half or your orange in pieces, those will no longer give you seeds. It has to be the whole fruit. And that's basically it for the seed crafting. Okay, back on topic. Ignore the mess. If you've got the wall builder, you can do something pretty funny here. So I think I just want to do it like that. I'm going to get myself like just a really thin floor lining here. Okay, I need 20. So, watch this. Oh, I really hope that these will just go away with time or like reloading my game. I mean, or I could probably just bury something in there and then dig up with the rake to restore the ground that way, I suppose. Okay, let's see if this works. Put some coal in. Dig it up with the rake. Take the coal and put away the hole. Yeah. What about seeds? Oh, I can do it that way too. All right. Well, there's two different methods on how to get rid of these ugly holes after getting your dirt. What are you getting the dirt for? You'll see. Okay, I got a bunch of dirt, and I got this floor here. I put it on here. Hey, that's right. We're building a wall out of dirt. Just gonna finish this up. And cool. So now we got a dirt floor. Watch this. You can plant things in your home. How is it getting watered? What? Oh my god. It's from up there. Oh, that's amazing. It's somehow the sprinkler on my balcony is reaching this, but barely. That's amazing. I think this also works for like digging. Yeah. You could just generate dirt from here. Pretty funny. A little busted if you ask me. But yeah, if you want to have an indoor farm, this is something you can do. It can take a lot of work, but you can absolutely do it. Now, what if I don't want this here? What if I don't want that there? And let's say I didn't have any holes left over. Yes, I know garbage bags are more efficient, but I'm rich and I want convenience. And would you look at that? You can bag your dirt. It's the same thing as garbage. And you can probably sell it. Alright, so we're at the point where we are literally just waiting for these things to grow. Taking a look at it now, you can see things are starting to sprout a little slowly. We've got... Oh wow, the sugarcane's already done. Yeah, these grow fast. You'll get a lot of sugarcane, and they like to clip through the floor. And they'll probably fall from the sky eventually once they've reached the bottom of the world. A little annoying, but what can you do about it? As for everything else, it grows at a normal rate, it looks like. Yeah, just gonna have to wait. Probably spread these out a little better at least. Let me try that. Move this over here. This guy can come over here. That should be a little more... That should cover the rest of the crops a little better. These guys over here probably not going to get much coverage, but what can you do about it? You can find the axe. I believe it's located in the abandoned shack. You'll be able to cut down the trees that you grow. And with those trees, you're going to get logs. And also a bunch of fruit floating in the sky, which you can still grab, but I wish it fell down as well. It's a little annoying. But with the axe, if you hit a tree enough times, one that you grew, it'll drop a bunch of logs. And with those logs, you can do something very special. Here, I've got some logs that I cut down from my fruit tree. Now, the nice thing about logs is you can mass produce these, and then you can burn them. You're gonna need the wood axe from the abandoned shack, but once you've got that, you can do this. I recommend having a separate plantation that's just full of trees. God, that's loud. You're going to want a bunch of trees in its own area solely for wood production. And then fruit trees where you actually care about getting the fruits, you can have in your farming area. That's how I do it, at least. So, after burning your logs, you get a whole bunch of coal pieces. Now, this is a great alternative to mining because you don't have to prepare for the journey every single time. You could just, make logs at home. Don't gotta worry about anti-breather or going to the cave. Just make your own coal at home. You can combine the smaller pieces using the workbench. Careful you don't get burned like I did. So it looks like the fire was about to stop on the coal, so I probably didn't have to collect it while it was on fire. But I got 98 coal pieces from all of that. So we're at the part where we're just gonna have to wait for the crops to grow. You can do some work, you can have some fun doing whatever you do in Voices of the Void. But it's going to take a little bit of time. So, in the meantime, I'm going to watch something awesome.
Hang up your sneakers because Dr. Robotnik and his ex-enemies are going go-karting. Use the untapped potential of rings to supercharge your vehicle across more than 200 crazy courses. With over 20 unique items and some of the hottest moves on this side of the floating island, this is racing at the next level. Dr. Robotnik's Rain Racers. Out now for home computers everywhere. For free.
Yeah, everything is pretty much done growing. Still waiting for this pine tree before I showcase it. I'm curious, if I use the hazmat suit, do I become immune to bees? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. It looks like the hazmat suit acts like a bee suit. I did not know that. That's something good to know. I guess you can do honey farming without falling over every few seconds. Okay, so I gave it some more time to grow, and let's take a look at the fruits of our labor. So, here's the red mushrooms that I planted earlier with those seeds. I'll be careful not to eat them on accident. We've got our trees here, growing fruit. Got oranges, and over here we got some lemons. You can cut these into a knife if you want to eat them, or you can just put them on the workstation as a whole to get more seeds. Now over here is the tree that I got from that pine cone that I planted. It also says discard, which makes me think maybe it's not done, but it looks big enough to cut down. Okay, maybe it might grow bigger. I'll cut to the end, like, I'll add a clip of this being fully grown. I'm gonna see if I can cut it down, maybe it yields more logs. Like, for comparison's sake, let's cut down this one. Yeah, so you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, from each of these. Oh, I had another one here. Yeah, I think you get about the same amount here. Can you saw these? No, you cannot saw these. I wonder if you can make these in the wood scrap. All right, these are also very, very heavy. Okay, go there. What? And as I said before, yeah, you've got floating oranges. Looks a little weird. Just grab them out of the air. Hopefully in a future update we'll get fruits that fall down with the tree. Okay, back to the normal crops. We got our watermelon here. Got your pumpkins here. These are heavier, so I'll harvest them later. Got our potatoes. So I planted a quarter, and I got 2 whole potatoes. Nice. We got the Zaza. Get a whole 4 leaves from one plant. And you put each of those leaves on the crafting bench to get more seeds. Here is a cucumber. You get 2 of them from 1 seed. Oh. I seem to have taken a bite out of one. Pretty cool plant. You got your yellow shrooms. You got your brown mushrooms. Good old classic flat mushrooms, one of the more common ones. And look at that. Puff shrooms that you can harvest. These things are like really good food. Okay, these are even bigger now. Still can't cut them down. Are these even worth planting? It's just gonna grow into a normal tree? Hold on. It just keeps growing. Honestly, you know what? I don't care how many logs these may give you, it's not worth the wait, and I feel like I'm just gonna grow a normal tree. I'm probably not gonna do that. And I don't want to ruin my farm area. I'm not gonna leave those there. You want to plant your own somewhere else, you can go ahead and do that. Make your own video. I don't care. Honestly, yeah, don't plant the pine trees. There's enough of them as there is already. And that is my not so quick tutorial on farming in Voices of the Void, and also getting honey and finding the beehive. Mostly I wanted to cover the beehive thing, but since it was so intertwined with farming, I thought, hey, why not also do farming? I don't really see that many tutorials regarding the rake either, so I had a good reason to do it. Alrighty. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a splendid rest of your day. Take care.